everyone, Serena McCrae here. I'm going to give you a quick look into the wonderful world of Usborne Books and More. This is one of the big books of Big. This is Big Book of Big Animals. I think it's beautiful. This is one of my favorites. Let me give you a quick look inside. So you can see first off that the illustrations are really, really beautiful, and there's little small blurbs of information so that it won't confuse or overwhelm your young reader. And then as you flip through the book, there's these huge pages that fold out, and they're just so big, and the illustrations are so cool. Little blurbs of information again, and so you can just see how much fun these are to look at. In every few pages there's another fold out, beautiful illustrations, super great. There's several in these series, and I want them all. Next is The See Inside Your Body. This is one of my top sellers. This is amazing. My daughter actually, she reads this book all the time. She absolutely loves it. It helps wiggly readers get involved with all these little flaps, and there are tons of flaps. This one has over 50 flaps, and even my little 12-month-old likes doing these flaps. So she's already getting familiar with nonfiction books and taking in information. Today we talked about my 2-year-old has asthma, and so we talked about this little guy and his inhaler and all the information about what happens when you have asthma. So this makes tougher subjects really accessible for our young readers. Along that line, for older readers, is the Usborne encyclopedias. There's several of these, and they're super awesome because you'll see there's lots of illustrations, also super beautiful, lots of information. There's little blurbs next to the images to get your children started reading, and then when they decide that they want to read more, then they can come over to the paragraphs. Something that I absolutely am so impressed with the Usborne encyclopedias is that each subject, every page is internet linked. So if your child has to do a school report, all they have to do is open this up, check out the link on the corner of the page, and they will get 3 to 5 sources of citable sources that they can use for their reports. And these are always updated on the website, and so it's always updated information, which is very, very, very cool. Something that I love about Usborne is our activity books. Usborne just does activity books right. This is one of the sticker dolly dressing. There's a ton of these. I'll show you some in the back because my daughter loves this book and she's been doing them all. So you can see there's these beautiful pages with the little girls, the little princesses who need their clothes. And in the middle of the book, there's these pages with all their clothing, their accessories. It gives you a guide and tells you which page goes with which, so that you can dress them appropriately. And I'm not a huge princess person. My daughter is newly obsessed, but there's also dream jobs, dressing dollies for dream jobs. There's also traveling vacation. There's also ones that have boy characters that cover subjects like emergency services, action sports. I believe there's a female action sports as well. And obviously any child can use any of the books, but those are just some of the subjects that they cover. And so these are really, really cool. I've actually seen my daughter's fine motor skills, her coordination, really progress as she's been doing this book, so I love that. Another great activity series is the Wipe Clean books, and these are really cool because they come with a dry erase pen, and this one is first letters. There's several. There's even combined volumes of these, so you can buy a bigger one and actually save money that way. And I love these because this one in particular covers letters, and you can see that there's letters all throughout the picture. So as they trace the dotted lines, they might just think that they're drawing a picture, but they're actually practicing their alphabet, which is awesome. And I mean, my 12-month-old, she scribbles in these, and she just loves that she's allowed to do it, and I can wipe it clean, and everyone in our family can use this. So that's really great. And there's numbers, there's getting ready for school, there's several different ones. Another activity thing that I love is the wipe clean cards, and I love these because they're kind of more tactile. They invite my daughter to play with them a bit more. This is 100 things for little children to do on a trip, and I also have the Doodle Tin, which has 80 cards. This one has 50, and what I have done is I have mixed them up, and I put them, punched a hole, and I put them on a ring, and so I can actually throw this in my diaper bag, and they can play with them in the car. And I made 2 sets. So you can see this is from the Doodle Tin, and it gives you a little prompt on what to do. And see, this one says, give a monster to this mouth. And there's lots of dragons and monsters and things. My daughter loves that. And then here's some of the activity cards that actually has little puzzles and things. And it gives you prompts on what to do. It's a little maze. So these ones are really, really fun. I love those. And they come with a dry erase pen, which is really great. Some of the combined volumes that Usborne Books More does is great. And if you purchase a combined volume, you actually save on getting multiple titles for a much lesser price, because it costs the publisher less to bind them into one book, and so we just pass that savings on to you. And I personally kind of love big books, and so I think it's really fun. This is the complete book of Farmyard Tales. This one is extra special because it's a dual reader. I actually purchased this book at a yard sale for $3, and I had never heard of Usborne before, and I just fell in love with it. I thought it was so intuitive because the top line is the same story as the bottom line. You can read one or the other. So I've actually read the top line just very quickly when my daughter's kind of cranky, but we need to settle down for bed, things like that. Or if they're learning how to read, they can read the top, and you can read the bottom to help them get more information. The other thing that I love about these is, let's see if I can find him. On every page, there's a little tiny ducky hiding, and so even if they're not in the mood for reading, there's a game involved in this book, which is just too much fun. And this one's also great because it comes with a CD so that they can read along with the stories. Another favorite combined volume is the Big Book of Little Stories, and I love this because the stories are just so cute. It has lots of classics, Little Miss Muffet and Pinocchio, and it's just kind of fancy, put together. We can read one, we can read several. Sometimes we read this first thing in the morning when we're waking up, and I just love this one. It's great for very young readers. My daughter's 2 and she adores it. There's also combined volumes for older readers that have longer stories and are just beautiful. Another very cool board book for little ones is the Flippy Floppy Lift the Flap Fun, and there's several of these titles, and I love these because it gives you a prompt on what to look for, and then you actually flip the pages, and as you flip the pages, your creature that you're looking for appears. And I love this because it teaches your children the sequence of left to right, physically and as we read. And if they don't follow the sequence, then they don't find the creature. And so my husband was actually really like, wow, that book is really creative. But I love these. These are super fun, hands-on for little kids that don't really like to sit still as much. Muddle and Match is very fun board book, and it has all these pages, and you can mix up the stories. I love the alliteration in these. It's very, very fun to read. So that's a popular one too. And now last of all, I'm going to show you the pullback books and the wind-up books. This is the Busy Bug book, and it actually comes with a little wind-up toy, or this one has a pullback toy, and you can see that there's actually a track cut into the page. And as you pull him back, he winds up, and then he whirs all around the page, and you can see that there's the story along the track. So as he's going on his little adventure, racing around, you get to read the story about what he's doing. And along with those are for younger little ones that are working on their coordination. This is a wind-up book, or a wind-up one for older kids who have mastered that skill or are working on that skill. And so you can see the track is cut in, and this is the bus. and it actually has, the track can pop out and they can piece together like a big puzzle and make a ginormous track that can go all over your table, which is really, really fun. We have a lot of fun with that one. So that's just a quick look. I love all these books so much, and I hope that you can find some that your family will love and learn from as well. Thank you.